4 reasons why I was constantly failing and how I overcame those hurdles. Having unrealistic and unreasonable goals, not being balanced, poor time management, did not prioritize. First reason why I was constantly failing, having unrealistic and unreasonable goals. It made me felt worthless. It made me felt demotivated every single time I was unable to achieve my goals. How I overcame this hurdle, I redefined what perfection meant to me. Perfection was once understood to me, and by many now, to be without flaw or mistake. However, I read an article that changed my perspective of what perfection really is, especially in this system we are living in. The article said, and I am paraphrasing, one is faultless as they measure up to the requirements for them. Requirements that took into account one's limitations and abilities. So it is not about not making mistakes, but it is how one overcome those mistakes and keep making progress. I had to stop outlining my goals based on what others expected me or expected of me. I know what I was capable of. So I stopped measuring myself using other person's measuring tape. So it kept motivating me to make progress. The second reason why it is I was failing, I was not balanced. Work, entertainment, family, friends, my own business, the commercial system. All of these things require and demand time, and yes, they may be important in all different levels. But I was not prioritizing and I was not placing the right amount of time to these particular activities. How I overcame it? I had to be honest with myself. So I made a tangible list. On this list, I made a list of items that I would have got done in a day. How much time I spent on each one of these tasks. Then it is, on the other page, I would have now made a list of the things that I was supposed to do or have to get done, and how much time I should have allocated to these things. When I compared the list or the time, drastically outweighed each other. Certain things were receiving too much time, and then other things that were supposed to be receiving more time wasn't. So it was all over. So you know what? I remember this statement that I learned. There's a time and a place for everything. So there's a time for entertainment, there's a time for work, there's a time for family, there's a time for myself. I had to be balanced with how much time I was giving each one of these things. As we mentioned, time, the third reason why I was failing, poor time management. As I previously mentioned, time is something that, a lot of things require of it. There are a lot of things in our life that requires time. So there were periods when I was so busy, but when I sat down and reflected on my day or my week or my month, I realized I wasn't that productive. I wasn't getting the more important things done. So how I overcame it, I had to reclaim my time. So I actually developed this 3-step productivity system that I've used every day, every week, anytime I have to make a to-do list. Step 1, pen to paper. That's where I write all the things that I have to get done for the week or this time period that I'm looking at. I write it down. Step 2, prioritize. We'll talk about that as our 4th hurdle. Step 3, production by reflection. This is now where I sit at the end of the day and I reflect on the task that I got done, how I got it done, if it was an effective method, is there a better way to get that particular thing done. that's what I sit and do, reflect a bit on my day. So next day, if I have to do a repeated task or similar like task in the future, I can be able to more efficiently and effectively get it done. Managing my time. Time management is truly, truly important, and time waits on no one. We know this is true. The fourth reason why it is I was failing, I was not prioritizing. I was just getting things done, getting up, doing what I had to do, go to work, come home, clean, cook, study where I can, squeeze in stuff, family, friends, calls, entertainment, just doing things on a random basis every day. And yeah, it seemed to be getting things done. But when you really look and you reflect, I realized that there were things that were supposed to get done, or how it was done, it was not up to standard. It wasn't done at all. So again, I developed a 3 simple step process on how I can prioritize my life and my to-do list. So step 1, I list all of the tasks that I wanted to complete in a week. Step 2, next to each one of these tasks, I attached a number 1, a 2, or a 3 next to it. The number 1 was attached to the task that was most important to me. So these are the things that make me who I am. So it's my spiritual activities, my family, and my health. Then I would attach a number 2 to important tasks as well, but these tasks helps to fulfill the number 1s. So this would be like my work, developing my business. These things are important to me. So it got a number 2, but it's not the most important. And then I attached a number 3 to tasks that needed to get done, But these things could be squeezed or maneuvered within or around the other important tasks. These would be things to me like cooking, cleaning, folding clothes, and so forth. Then, after allocating these number value to each task, step 3, I inserted my number 1s, which are my most important things, first into my schedule. So I blocked that section first for my week. And then my number 2s I filled in, and then my number 3s. So if there were anything to be left out, eliminated, or squeezed in, would be my number 3s. Now connecting my first point with being realistic and reasonable now to this particular fourth point, prioritizing. When it is I made that list, my to-do list, with all of the items or tasks that I needed to get done for the week, my number 1s, I would try to put at least or at most one number 1 in a day. So accomplishing this most important task first became my priority. Everything else was built around that. So at the end of the day, when I look and I tick my task, I know I got the things that was very important to me done. And that built my intrinsic motivation, and it can for you as well. So busy career woman, our aim is to be busy but remain productive.